Good morning guys. Today we're going to look at not a swimsuit, not a hat, but instead we're going to steer our attention towards some different goggles. After making my video on race hats, I had a few people suggest I make a video something similar regarding goggles. So today we're going to look at my top 3 favourite goggles. Quickly before we delve any deeper, I would say there is a few brands I haven't tried that I know have very popular models. Tier are one of them. I know their tracer goggles are loved by a lot of people. And I've not tried the MP Exceed goggles, which I know are very, very nice as well. Another quick disclaimer for goggles is that they don't obviously make as much of an impact as, say, a tech suit would. So obviously, yeah, we don't want to be wearing a scuba mask or something super bulky, and we do want to have a goggle that's low profile and a little bit more hydrodynamic. They aren't going to be the be or end all of your performance. So what I personally think is that no matter what I say or what other people say, find a goggle that you find comfortable, that you find doesn't leak, and you're confident that before a race you're going to dive in, it's not going to come off. Goggles are much more readily available to try and test out, especially at meets, to try a few pairs on, see what you find comfortable and go from there. But anyhow, I will give you some suggestions and I will let you know what I like myself. For number 3 on my list, I'm going to start with a bit of a curveball. I'm going to wrap up a broad spectrum of goggles and I'm going to go with a Swedish design. So right here, I've not actually got the classic Malmsteen Swedish goggles that are the sort of creators of the design, but I've got the jacket spy goggles here, which are a bit of a hybrid with not a completely acrylic gasket. They actually have a little bit of like silicone blended in, so they're a little bit softer on your eyes. But regardless, this sort of style of goggles is my number 3 on the list. Sadly, I feel like these are lacking in popularity today. People don't really know what they are or haven't seen them or haven't used them, but years ago, these were the go-to goggles, and still a lot of top swimmers such as Vladimir Morozov racing them today. Why are they number 3 on my list? Well, a few reasons. The first is comfort and customization. Even though they're completely made of plastic, they are still very, very comfortable goggles. And their level of customization is potentially a reason for that. Not only can you change, obviously, the goggle strap, you can actually change what the nosepiece material is, which means you can get the goggles set the right distance apart from your eyes. You can use string, you can use a bit of silicone like I've got here. And basically it means they get very, very comfortable. The other big reason is that they are very cheap. And the actual original Malmsteen Swedish goggles are like £2–3 a pair, and something a little bit fancier like this jacket pair are looking at about £10–12. Compared to the other brands and the other models I'm going to talk about today, that is very, very cheap. And they are still great for racing. They are low profile. They're not as sleek and as stealth-like as some of the others, but they are still, there's not much of them. They fit pretty snug around your eyes. They've not got a massive gasket. Number 2 is the latest goggle from Speedo. And Speedo have made some great goggles over the years, and I could make a video talking about my favorite Speedo goggles or different Speedo goggles, because there's just so many great ones. But the latest one, the Speedsocket 2.0, is definitely my number 2 on this list. It is obviously a little bit more expensive than the Malmsteen Swedish goggle, but it's a very, very nice design. It's durable, although the silicone around the gasket on Speedo goggles does tend to sort of get a bit melty and break down over time, especially if you're training them 1 or 2 times a day. They are comfortable, they are low profile, and the Speedsocket 2.0 actually develops on some previously awesome designs, such as the Speedsocket original that I have here and the Aquasocket that I have here. The Speedsocket was the first goggle that I could ever train in and wouldn't leak daily. The Aquasocket I've spent a good couple years racing in years ago, and now this Speedsocket 2.0 is very similar in every single way than the original Speedsocket. It just has a new curved lens, which gives you that peripheral vision, allowing you to see what's going on around you. In a race, if you like to see where your competitors are at, that's what that can give you. Before we go any further and get to my number 1, we're going to have a quick look at some honourable mentions. First honourable mention is the Q Swimwear Q-Tech Plus goggle that I have right here. It looks very similar to some arena goggles, which a lot of brands are doing now. Because the arena goggles are so popular and they use these stabilizing bars, brands are absolutely copying this. And I was almost against putting this in the video because I don't really like people copying designs. I like originality and innovation, and this is not what's going on with this goggle. But that being said, I was setting it through. Even though it looks similar, the stabilizing bars are completely jelly-like. They're nowhere near as dense as on the arena competitors. And these aren't really a racing goggle. They have a big, big gasket that fits wide around your eye sockets, meaning these are one of the most comfortable goggles I've ever worn. I did try racing them and I would not recommend them for that, which is why they're not on my top 3 list. But in terms of comfort, these were amazing. They're potentially the most comfortable goggles I've ever trained in. And I would still be training them today if the lenses hadn't scratched to oblivion. their anti-fog had disappeared and I can barely see anything out of them. I can't read the pace clock or see what times I'm going, which is why I've stopped wearing them. So durability is not great, but comfort, these are awesome. The second honourable mention would be the Finis Circuit. These are quite a sleek, low profile goggle, which I would say are good for racing. Drawbacks for me would be they've got no real gripping areas to sort of pull them off your head and put them on your eye, which I know sounds silly. They feel a bit thin on my eyes. They're quite thin and long, but they're pretty low profile. They don't do anything too wrong, and they're a pretty nice goggle. These are what I currently are training. Finally, we get to the number one, and you probably saw it coming. These are by far the most popular goggles on the market right now. Every single meet you go to in practice, you'll see people wearing these in the dozens. It is the Arena Cobra Ultra. Arena, like Speedo, have a vast number of awesome different goggles. I have used some others in the past. I know their Arena tracks are popular, and I previously raced in the Arena Cobra, the predecessor of this. These are known for having a stabilizer bar, which helps basically keep the goggles on and not leak while wearing them under your hat in a race. And having a product, having a goggle that gives you the confidence to dive in and know they're not going to leak really is important, because the last thing you want to happen in a race is water getting in your goggles. On top of that, they have a very, very low profile design, probably the flattest design of anything I've mentioned today. They really do hug around your eyes. They sit very low, so you're not going to have a lot of room for your eyelap. But I do know the Cobra Core doesn't have the stabilizing bars, and it's a little thicker, so you've got a bit more space for your eyes in there. These really are the real deal. I think they're as fast as goggles are going to get if you think they're going to make a huge difference. And they're not the most comfortable. I don't actually train in these because they are very, very tight around your eyes, but still comfortable enough. Like, I don't find them uncomfortable. I just don't think they're as comfortable as, say, the Q Swimwear or potentially like the Finis Circuits. Absolutely the best goggle I've worn so far in my career, and my favorite and my number one on this list. And actually this Cobra Ultra I have right here is a special one. Can't say any more than that. It's a special one, and I will be making a full video on this when I'm allowed to say more. The Arena Cobra Ultra is going to get better in the near future. I've got some cool video ideas coming soon. I'm potentially going to make a vlog for our meet next weekend, where I'm going to be trying out a lot of the new suits, which then will consequently get reviews. I am going to be bringing you the first women's suit review. I've got the Arena Carbon Air Squared in a women's version, and some of the swimmers that swim for my swimming club are going to race in it next weekend and give you their thoughts on it. So that's going to be cool. So women, subscribe. You've got something to look forward to. So thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what goggles you wear to race. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe as well. Check me out on Instagram at the swimsuitguy95, and I'll see you next time.